Okay, guys, what we're going to do this morning is we're going to decant my apple cider vinegar, or apple scrap vinegar if you're a purist. About a month ago, almost to the day, I put apple peels from some pies I had made into water that had set overnight to get the chlorine and chloramides out, and a little bit of sugar. And in these jars, covered them with a coffee filter and a ring from a canning jar. You could use also a rubber band. And then I've let them set. And every day you mix it up a little bit. I use a wooden skewer like you put on the barbecue grill. Down inside, mix it up a little bit just to check to make sure that it is fermenting, and you'll notice by the bubbles. I'm going to try to lay some photos in images in when I do the editing on here and show you the bubbles. And to keep it stirred. This is different than like sauerkraut fermenting, because sauerkraut fermenting you want an anaerobic atmosphere so that the bacteria there can process and ferment. In vinegars, you want an aerobic, so you want air to be able to reach the top levels and to allow the natural yeasts and things in your vinegar to work. So if I tip this very much, it'll spill, but you'll see there's no mold or anything in the jar. If there had been, you can lift a little bit of it out, but eventually this will get so acidic that mold won't grow. You're going to let this set in room temperature, undisturbed, other than to stir it up once or twice a day, and for about 30 days. Then around 30 days, you're going to test the pH. Now, I have these pH strips. I've had them for a long time because I don't go through very many of them. There's 100 in here. I use them when I'm doing this, or when I'm making lye soap, to test the pH. And you want an acidic vinegar. I mean, that's what vinegar is, right? So this particular brand has a scale from 1 to 14. And the area that we want to be in 1, 2, 3, or 4, ideally. That is the level of acidity. 7 is neutral. 13, 14 is alkaline. And you'll notice these strips are kind of yellowish. I wish they could make them white. I wonder why they can't make them white. But you will, and you can tell a little bit by the smell, but you don't want to go 100% by the smell. You'll notice it does have a rather acidic smell, vinegary smell. And you'll just dip this in real quick and compare it to your strip. Now, different brands will have a little bit different, but they're all about the same. And you'll see this falls between 3 and 4, and that's plenty acidic enough for our apple vinegar. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to move the camera, and so you can see down here what I'm doing. Give me just a second here in my gazillion-dollar high-level video studio here. So what I'm going to do, I've got some, this is a flour sack towel. You can get these at most of the big box stores or online if you want. So we're going to use a strainer and the flour sack towel so that we can catch most of the solids and strain them out. These flour sack towels are preferable over cheesecloth because they can be washed multiple times, bleached if you need to bleach them. So you can see that's all that excitement right there. I kind of want to be able you to be able to see this strain a little bit. Now this particular, at this stage, you don't have, you know, you've heard them talk about the mother in apple cider vinegar, and the mother will usually be around the bottom in store-bought stuff. Or if you're doing it yourself, it'll rise to the top and kind of gel, kind of be a gooey, slimy thing on top. The potential for the mother is in the liquid. To get the mother, you have to let this ferment a little longer without these solids in there. So, but we're going to just worry about this right now. And I'm just going to pour this in. And strain out those solids. I should have brought another bowl over here. Let me get another bowl. To put the solids in, that's what I get for not having a written plan and just doing it. So we'll pick this up. Ooh, ooh, yes, vinegar. Wow. Now, this apple cider, or this vinegar is not for canning. Don't try to use this in place of white vinegar. That's not what this is for. This is for like salad dressings and cooking, or for health. You know, some people like to take a tablespoon or so of apple cider vinegar, maybe for an upset stomach or something. Oops. And this is not for cooking. And a big part of the reason is that there's no standardization in the homemade version. When you buy commercial white vinegar, there are standards in the production and standards for the acidity that have to be met, so that you know that the bottle you just emptied of white vinegar and the bottle you just bought of white vinegar is the same. So I'm going to decant these into a couple of bottles. Yes, that's what they are. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and experiment with this dark bottle. If you're fermenting to get the mother, it needs to be in a dark place or dark container so that the light doesn't affect it. And I want to see if that blue bottle will work doing that. So you can see it's got a little pink tinge to it, and that's just the color of the apple skins. It was a mix of apples. Some of them were Granny Smiths, some of them were Gaia's. So they can take it a little more. So we'll just repeat this. I really want to get some smaller bottles. And when I say get, I don't mean go to the box store and get them. I want to see if I have any in the basement stored away, or if I have any, where put the strips? There they are, out in the building or something, that I can use to give away some of this. I mean, the truth of the matter is a lot of the stuff that I store and process and is more than Wayne and I will consume. And in a reasonable amount of time. And so I like to be able to give it to family who will, and others who will appreciate it. So I'll be fixing up a few bottles to go, you might say, for gifts. I have some old jelly jars. And when I say old jelly jars, I don't mean antique jelly jars. I mean some old little commercial jelly jars. It might work in those. I don't know if it would spill out. I'll have to get them out and test them and see if they leak, because jelly, you know, is thick, and you can't heat stuff and reseal them in those. Like the Weiler's little jelly jars with the plaid lids on them. That's what I'm talking about. I've got a couple of those. I do a lot of my own jelly now, but I haven't always. And I don't always. It just depends on what I've got in the cabinets. Now this one, like I told you, I want to set this aside somewhere and let it continue to ferment and see if we can create the mother. And to do that, I'm going to use the cork for now, but I'll put a little piece of cheesecloth over top of that so that it can get some circulation of air for that mother. And you know, these are dirt cheap. I just wrote on that with a Sharpie. I put the date that I started it on there, and it worked very, very well. But I tell you, if you do this like I did, and you have them sitting here on this counter, you are going to smell it as it processes. And I had a guest stay over a couple nights ago, and I had to explain to her as I was showing her, as we walked by here, as I was showing her where I set breakfast out and stuff. I said, now I'm working on some apple cider vinegar, and that's what you're going to smell right here. And she looked at me kind of questionably, like, apple cider. So I explained to her, I said, you know, it's actually apple scrap vinegar that I'm making, and it's in its last days, so you're going to smell that right here. But I also explained to my guests that we live here. This isn't the type of Airbnb that you're going to come in and go out and nobody's going to see you. We live here. And I mentioned that when people inquire about staying, because every now and again you'll get a message that so-and-so is requesting. They may be somebody brand new that don't have reviews yet. So I have mindset that people like that cannot instant book, because maybe I don't want you to be here. Maybe I'll look you up on LinkedIn or Facebook or TikTok or something and find out that you're a partier. And I don't mean the kind that serves cake and ice cream. So maybe you carry on, and I don't want you in my house, because you're the kind of person that on your social media you say, I don't go by the rules. Rules aren't for me. Well, I've got some rules, and if I don't feel like you're a good match, I'll encourage you to go elsewhere. But so I always try to explain to people that you know, we live here, our dogs live here, our cats live here. We will be interacting, and you will see us. So there will be things going on in the house, like this, for instance. So you walk by and you smell vinegar. Well, it's because I'm making vinegar. It's not because I don't clean house good. Where's That's one thing about these dark bottles. Ah, perfect, right there. One thing about it is you're going to see how some people live. Now, you know, we're not multimillionaires or anything, but we have a unique little lifestyle here. Oh, just shut it. Well, that's all right. This one has a screw top lid. That was interesting to find. So I didn't need that big spoon. I should have thought that through a little more. So here we go. So what I'll do is I'll use a Sharpie pen. Keep my Sharpie pens. And I've told you 1,000 times you can take Sharpie pen off a glass with a little bit of rubbing alcohol. Today is 11/2/22, and this is apple scrap vinegar. Where's my cork? There's my cork. Apple scrap vinegar. Now, I had a silver one. I don't know if it'll show up on that blue glass or not. And you can get, if you don't want to buy alcohol, you can probably ask around for some of your friends if they have any of these wine bottles. You could actually go to a bar and ask them if they have any of these wine bottles. You can find these bottles around. The screw top lid ones, I know people make fun of people who drink out of bottles with a screw top lid, but that's really handy for this. 11, oh, that's gonna look nice. 2, apple, except it's this, the tip is kind of smushy. It's not hard and sharp. And I'll put for mother on this one so I can watch it. And let me do this. Let me get a, I guess I could use the other ones because they've already been used. Sorry, I'm walking back and forth there. I just had this come to me. I'll just cut a piece of this one. See if I cut enough there. Yeah, I think I did. And I will do this. Oh, don't tell me I didn't. You got to have enough on all the sides for the rubber band to stay on. All right, so I'll watch this. I think it takes a couple months. And see, I'll have to hold it up to a light somewhere, get a flashlight and look at it. I didn't think that through very well, but we'll see what happens. We'll watch it for a few days or a few weeks, and I may have to decant it into something else. I've already got something in mind. Something more along the lines of one of these with a sock on it so that I can see in to check, because now I'm thinking, as cute as that is, I can't see that, but it does need to work. I'll work that out a little more and update you with another video on that. Excuse me. Let me pop this up and talk to you. So, oh, well, there we go. It's not far enough up. So that's what we've got for now. We've got a bottle and a half of apple scrap vinegar. We've got this one, which I'm probably already decided I'm going to decant out into something else as soon as I find a suitable. I might get another wide mouth jar and put it in, but I don't have any up here right now for this video, so I'll keep you posted on that. Please do all the likes and shares and clicks and rumbles and all of the various ways of acknowledging that you like this video. Feel free to comment. I am using a podcast on fountain.fm. That's an app for podcasters. And if you happened over there and you listen to a few of those, then I hope you'll share some value there. I think that's it for now. So I've got some yogurt I got to get out of the oven. It's been, nope, I'm not baking it. I have an oven with a continuous pilot light. It's the perfect place to let my yogurt set up. And I started that yesterday evening. It should be done by now. I've done yogurt videos before, but I need to get that out of there. There was something else I was going to do, and I don't remember what it is, but when I do, I'll share it with you. So thanks a lot. And if you have any questions, drop them down in the comments, and I'll get to them as soon as I can. Have a great day. Bye.